One of the most incredibly wonderful feelings that I have with my horse is when we can move in synchronicity, when we can read each other's intentions and my feet are in time with his feet. It's a lovely feeling of balance. It's a lovely feeling of partnership. So what I'm going to teach you today is something called Mirror Me. And you saw me playing a little bit out in the middle of the arena, but I want you to start on a wall. And the reason is, again, it takes out one variable in terms of where your horse is going. So we're managing that energy through the space of straight with the wall on one side. Dreamer is used to walls on his outside. So if your horse is a little bit unconfident about being squeezed into this area, you'll want to be able to do a lot of that first primarily. So prepare that first before you do this exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my line and I'm going to hold some of it here with my long arm here. My long arm is actually going to work kind of like my tail of my horse. So we talked about the long arm being as long as my horse so I can use it without moving my feet. And you might be seeing this today as I go through the levels of clarity. So right here we have him moving off. I'm just going to back him up here a little bit. And you also have learned that lift, jiggle, bump, which you just saw me do a little bit of, and we're going to look at that in another video. But for now, my intention is I want to move forward with my horse. So I have kind of like this little analogy that I use with students. And I say, okay, you're in neutral, you're in natural, you're not asking. And the first level of clarity, I want you to bring your energy up. And with your hand, with your fingers down on your line, I want you to pretend you just put your standard Ferrari into first gear. And that's level 1 of clarity. Now, I'm going to wait for my horse to move first. I'm not going to leave without him. If I should take that first step now, he's actually following me. And what I want to do here is I want you to understand this is not a following, it's not a leading exercise, it's a going together exercise. And that's what makes this so beautiful down the road at the end. So my first level of clarity after my neutral is I'm going to bring my energy up and put my Ferrari here into first gear. And he knows what this is. He's kind of wondering why I'm slowing this down and keep asking, and he's not going. So just bear with me and you'll be able to see all 4 levels of clarity. Dreamer won't need all 4 levels, but I'm going to show you on the video so that you will know how to go through that. I'll just apologize to my buddy here, Dreamer, for that. Okay, so first level of clarity is I'm putting my car into first gear, and I'm not going to leave without my horse. My second level is I'm going to bring this stick just the tip up so that now I'm as long as my horse. And believe it or not, most horses will feel that pressure. And you'll notice that I haven't let go of my level 1 of clarity. My level 3 of clarity is I'm going to start little tiny round circles with the end of my stick as if my tail was starting to swish a little bit. And then, of course, level 4 would be to touch him. And away we go. So we're just going to walk here a little bit, and then I'm going to slow down. We're going to try that again. So again, level 1 of clarity. Oh, he's going to move off now. Level 2 of clarity, and you'll find he's going to move off. But I'm just going to hold with you. So I'm teaching here. He's a little confused. Level 3 is the turning of my tail, and level 4 would be touch. And away we go. So I want my horse at a sweet spot. My sweet spot is my shoulder here and his shoulder. So we're together. It's not up above the shoulder, and it's certainly not up above the nose of him, because that would be following. And for most horses, that's where you'll see that your horse will go. They'll want you to take that first step. They'll want you to be in the lead. That's a natural feeling for horses. And so don't be surprised if your horse is kind of, I don't know what to do, you better go first. Just go through your levels of clarity, and you'll find that your horse will know what happens after what happens, happens. So that's going forward. What I would suggest is that you just keep going forward until you kind of find a nice spot for you to slow down to a stop. And I'm going to show you the phases to stop, to slow down, to halt. Okay? So here we go, and I'm going to be going around the arena instead of stopping so that you can see how I use the wall. So level 1, and he moves off, don't leave without my horse, and now I go to a relaxed position, and now we're just walking. We're just walking together. I'm going to slow down here, cruise to a stop. I first use my body. The second level is I would put the stick tip out in front of me. That would be a second level of clarity. The third level of clarity is I might raise my stick in front of my horse, and if he was still pushing through that and I had to keep walking, I would turn circles that got bigger and bigger until he feels that block way out in front of him, and he goes, well, I better stop. So let's go through that again. Level 1, and don't leave without your horse. And then relax. I'm just going to wait till I get around the corner here. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slow in my body and ask my horse to slow in his. Now, if I needed to, I could put the tip of my stick out here at the front and use this as a barrier. There's level 3. And level 4 would be to turn circles. And if I had to, I could even twirl my string back behind, or sorry, back in front of him. So that way he knows that he needs to stop with me. But give him a chance by cruising to that stop. There's no need at this point to stop suddenly. So again, level 1, don't leave without my horse. Slow down. You can even breathe out if you have to. Level 2 is my stick is on the ground. He feels that as a barrier. If that's still not enough, I'm going to raise my stick. And then level 4 would be those small circles and even a big one if I had to. So there's 3 rules here. I want you to take particular attention of having your horse always be here on the sweet spot. And the rules are, don't go ahead of me, and please don't go behind me. And the other most important rule is, don't crowd me, don't step on my, don't come into my corral. We're awful close contact here, and this is why this is in a higher course for you, because you will have loads of time to be able to develop that partnership enough to do this. This can be a very dangerous position to be in. Okay, and the last part of Mirror Me is asking my horse to back up. So from this part, we've got all settled here, we're shoulder to shoulder, and here are the phases to go backwards. I'm first going to use my body in a backward position. I'm going to kind of slump my hips forward. And if that doesn't work, it's very similar to going through the phases of stopping. I'm going to put my stick up a little bit, and then I'm going to rattle my stick a little bit, circles, and then I'm going to release all that and back up together. So again, let's go forward, let's stop, and then we'll go through the back up one more time. So here I am, first gear. Okay, here we are walking, relax. Now we're going to stop, we're going to cruise to a stop. If we have to, let's just pretend that he didn't stop. You can go back and look at the phases. They're very similar now to back up. My stick is already in front. I'm going to make sure my body says we're going to back up. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to bring my stick up a little bit and rattle my stick a little bit, and then just relax and see if I can go with my horse. And again, close, being very, very particular about being at the shoulder of your horse through the whole process. Before you know it, you can do your walk forward, back up, stop. You can even trot a little bit. And the only difference between a walk and a trot is you're going to bring your energy up a little bit, and I'll show you that right now. So here's a walk. Now here's a trot. Go through my phases if I need to, have my horse trot. I've got to walk a little faster. Around I go, cruise to a stop, get my tip of my stick out here in case I need it, and then backing up. I'm already in that position. Stick goes up, tip, circle, and allow your horse to know that you're backing up, and make sure that your horse doesn't stop you. You are going to be asking your horse to stop by releasing that pressure. And you know all about that by other videos we've done. As a progression for that, see if you can try that out in the open, but get it really good on the wall first. And your Ferrari will be with you and be mirroring you, and it's an amazing feeling. Good luck with this.